ダウンロードします。リモコンで着火できるようにしてるんじゃないかな。
We'd quickly assembled at the hangar to start getting ready for the final flight. Ageha was currently explaining how to leave trails from the wings when doing aerobatics. Using smoke, gliders could leave trails similar to the contrails left by jets. It allowed observers to easily see the movements of the glider, and when combined with aerobatics, it was really impressive.
それ自体は簡単な仕組みだから、作るのは今日一日あればできると思うよ。
But the problem is, we can't test it. We had 2 days until our final flight, but we still couldn't practice. And so we had no way to test out the smoke equipment.
模型グライダーからラジコン飛行機で試せないでしょうか。
Hi, nice to see you.
Hello, Saber. How you doing? Unfortunately, you're fifth.
あ、それなら俺お手伝いできます。
スケールに差がありすぎるけど。
That's right. You're fifth.
やらないよりかはマシだと
Who
思
got
い
here
ます。
before me, cunt? Me, myself, and I, and that guy over there next to me.
そうね。あさちゃん、はるみくん、そっちお願いできる？はい。フォックですわよ。
No, fuck you.
任せてください。
Arumi seemed uncharacteristically confident. No, Saber. I mean it. Fuck you. Of course, his interest in plane and glider modeling was what brought him to Keifu Academy. And Asa was such a flight fan that she was into RC planes and models too.
キリノさんも手伝ってくれる？了解っす。姉さんが後輩に作業をさせようとしている。早速新部長としての自覚が出てきたかね。問題はアクロバットの内容と順序
Hi,
ね。
nice to see you.
Hello, Happy. How you doing? And how to use the smoke with them. We couldn't turn them on for the whole flight, so we would have to choose the perfect moment.
そっちはパイロット2人に任せるわね。ヨルちゃん、こっち手伝ってくれる？ええ。
Ageha and Yoru went off to get started on making the equipment.
まずはシミュレーションしてみましょう。
Yeah. The pilots went into the office to use the computer. Everyone dove headfirst into their work. I have bronchitis. Went to the doctor today to check it out. Oh no. What are you taking? Antibiotics? It was tough with the short time we had. But now that we had a fixed target, we could go full throttle. Everyone kept working hard. And then, right around sundown, everyone gathered outside the hangar and stared intently at the sky. A single plane was flying in the air, leaving trails of smoke.
おお、なかなかいいんじゃない？
It was an RC plane. Asa had brought it from home. Ageha had it set up with a smoke tracer.
お尻から煙吹いてるとなんだか墜落してるみたいね。
He said if it gets worse than what it has been, then to take the antibiotics. Oh, he's hoping it doesn't get any worse.
すみません。重量とかの関係で1本しか積めなくて。
The RC plane was leaving a single trail of smoke from its tail. Honestly, I could see what Kotori meant. It did look like it was going down.
でもイメージはつかめたんじゃないかしら。これが左右の翼端につくのよね。2機並べて飛ばしたりできないかしら。できなくはないでしょうけど。おーい、なんか面白いことやってる
Hi,
ね。
nice to see you.
Hello, Shin. How you doing? Isuka was coming up the hill.
陣中見舞いに来たよ。
I expect to have this route done by the end of the stream.
重かった。
That's the hope. As good as I can be? That's good to hear. He was nice enough to give us a prescription for it, just in case it comes to that. That's fucking good. The solid doctor right there. Or general practitioner, whatever you want to call him. She brought the ultimate summer pick-me-up. A watermelon.
でっかい。
Hi, nice to see you.
Rotating wind penises. You're right, Killer Nugget. Killer Nugget, I completely forgot to ask this when you told me you watched Edge Runners. Who's your favorite character? I will judge you.
キリノさん、バケツに水張って冷やしておいてちょ
The
うだい。
best part was his name was Philip. Damn!
は
Hareka took the huge watermelon from Isuka and waddled off to chill it in water.
ーい。これは何をしてるの？あさってのデモ飛行のリハーサルみたいなものです。本番ではグライダーの翼が白い尾を引いて飛ぶのよ。へえ、そんなことできるんだ。
Isuka's eyes sparkled as she watched the RC plane leaving a smoke trail.
僕に何か手伝えることはないかな。
So Dr. Phil, that means... Oh no.
今は特にないですかね。
Since someone is around, I'm a lurk. Lurk? Thank you for the lurk, Shin. That's unnervingly foreboding. I thought Maine was a badass. I loved Maine. Oh, hell yeah.
そっか。ごめんね、みんなにばかり負担かけちゃって。いいんです。これは私たちのためにやってることだもの。そうそう。むしろイスカさんの野望を利用させてもらっちゃって。
Isuka shook her head.
みんなの協力のおかげで僕もまた飛べるかもしれないんだもん。
Falco is literally Cyberpunk McCree, voiced by the same dude. Fuck yeah.
あの雲の回廊をね。
Tsutsun.
準備はどこまで進んでるの？一応出し物が決まって今その装置作りしながら当日来てもらう人たちに声をかけつつ。
I wanted a good ending for Lucy and David. Welcome to Night City. If at all possible. Everyone turned to look at me when my voice rose as I spoke on the phone. Right. Yes. Of course I understand. No, I know it's a difficult request. I hung up. My shoulders slumped. He went like in...
どうだったの？って顔に書いてあるね。
When I told Saber, he said I should be taking antibiotics straight away. I mean, if you want to get ahead of the curve, you could do that. It is completely up to you. Yeah, the supervisor can't make it. Bronchitis is an infection, isn't it? I actually have no idea. I've never gotten it. I'd been on the phone with our old supervisor. I'd asked him to come watch our final flight.
急な話だったもんね。え、来られないとどうなるの？
Antibiotics it is then. We can't fly.
そんな。先生に事情を説明して先輩たちだけで飛べないでしょうか。
顧問の山野辺先生はいらっしゃるんですし。
I shook my head. It's like a cold that starts with a sore throat. I know what bronchitis is. I just didn't know if it classifies as an infection. This big flight coming up is supposed to be our chance to defend ourselves.
マイナスの印象になりそうなことは避けなきゃいけないわね。飛び岡も来るしね。
That teacher in particular would never sit back and let us fly without a proper supervisor.
じゃあどうするの？誰か代わりの人を探すしか。
Mane. Yeah, but we've already looked in all the likely places. The person who'd agreed to come starting second term had plans that day and couldn't come. We'd also asked a few other people, but it was so sudden and no one was free.
本当なら僕がやらなきゃいけないことだよね。
She was actually going to be the supervisor in the future. As the leader of the new soaring group, she'd be the one supervising the Keifu Soaring Club. Acute bronchitis is often caused by viral respiratory infection and improves by itself. Symptoms of bronchitis include coughing up thickened mucus and shortness of breath. Damn! The shortness of breath thing makes sense, yeah. But she was still working to get the certifications she needed.
困った。
It fucks off on its own. But like you said, antibiotics is just a shortcut to getting better. Whether it's actually needed or not is the thing in question. Watari held her head. She clearly felt responsible, since she had been the one who'd agreed to the old man's Hazato schedule without thinking. And you get to stay away from people. It wasn't like she had any other choice.
電車で移動可能な範囲のよそのクラブに片っ端からお願いしてみる？
It'll be hard without any connections or an introduction. Maybe that was our only choice.
でもなんか忘れてる気がするのよね。
Symptoms vary with anything? Yeah. I've had it for a week already. Down him! Down the antibiotics! Fucking... Such as?
ほら、大事な人、誰かいたような気がする。
Reason why I said she should take it is because of what Happy just said. Ah, yes. Haven't had shortness of breath. I got you. It makes sense to take antibiotics, it would speed it up. Yeah, at this point, after a week. Kotori had an odd expression, like something was stuck in her throat. Bronchitis, if you will. Isaka watched the moment, then brought up a very important point.
外の監督さんが来る前ってどうやって活動してたの？どうやってって。そうだよ、いるじゃん一人。浜根先輩。
Ah, that is an option. Ah. I clapped my hands in realization.
臨時の監督、浜根ちゃんに頼めばよかったのよ。協力してくれるって言ってたしさ。でもあの人携帯つながるかな？
We had to try calling. She only had about a 40% response rate with email. Let's try it anyway. I opened up my contacts and hit call. Amane. Amane. Ah. Nope. No answer.
ああ、やっぱり。もうバカバカ。あまねちゃんのアホ。携帯電話が
Yes,
何のためになると思ってんのよ。
That is I.
案ずることはないわ。
Age has said, full of confidence.
今の私たちにはあの人がいる。
I'm working on the background for the main menu now. For the game. Ooh, the main menu. Don't fuck it up. When somebody goes into a game and they see a shitty main menu, bro.
あまね先輩の専属女子、雲井あかりさんだ。それだ。葵、連絡
Is it a
聞いてるよね。
And the bird on it. I called Akari's phone. I wasn't sure she'd answer since she was still at work. I'm gonna get it out to people before I get it right. It's a fluffy dick. Please answer.
はい、もしもし、雲井です
She answered.
が。何ですか？
Oh, sorry, nothing.
宮瀬君？一体何の用かしら。
Is Amane there? We need to get in touch with her immediately, but she never answers. My voice grew weaker as I spoke. Various see-through outlines of flappy dicks popping in and out. I realized they both must be really busy. It was probably really selfish to bother them with this personal stuff right now.
残念ですが、力にはなってあげられません。
Oh, please. We'll only take a minute.
いえ、そういうことではありません。力になってあげたくてもできないのです。
Why not?
望月先生なら脱走しました。行き先を知りたいのはこっちなのよ。
I pulled the phone from my ear. Everyone looked on in shock. They'd apparently been able to hear what Akari said.
失礼。もし行き先が分かったらご連絡ください。
Right, will do. I said goodbye and hung up. So, that's that.
相変わらずバカだね。
While everyone stood around in shock, Isaka alone seemed almost happy.
しょうがないわ。あまねちゃんの消息が分かるのを期待しつつ、よそのクラブにお願いしてみましょう。
We gathered up the RC plane and headed to the office to contact other clubs. First, we had to look up their info online. Before I keep talking shit, what's this game? This game is the last stream's game, except even further in the story. You know, the glider one. However... Everyone froze for an instant at the sight of Amane scarfing down a watermelon. The watermelon nose. Of course she's eating. ここにいた。やあ。
やあ、君たち、スイカ先にいただいてるぞ。
It must have been really sweet because her face glowed while she waved at us.
なんでここに先輩が？
Haruka, standing beside Amane, answered Ageha's question.
私、スイカを 冷やそうと思って事務所に来たっす。こっちの方が冷房効いてるから。そしたらいたっす。
There she was, eating our watermelon
そこの机の下に。
under the desk. What? We looked, and there was a blanket rumpled up underneath the desk at the back of the office. It looked like someone had been sleeping there. Which is probably exactly what had happened. She came to chill her melons.
発見した時は誰か死んでるのかと思ってマジビビったっす。
Sounded like a natural reaction if you thought the office was empty. It was lucky she didn't drop the watermelon.
参考までに聞くけど、あまねちゃん、いつからそこにいたの？
She hasn't gone home.
ん？昨日の夜からだと思うぞ。思うぞって自分のことでしょ？全然気づかなかったわ。
The place she'd bedded down was in a blind corner, actually. So it was the perfect place to hide away, and also explained why no one had noticed her sleeping there. And she'd been sleeping there all this time.
ここは仕事がはかどるからな。勝手に使わせてもらってたんだ。
Akare's looking for you.
あかりなんか知らないぞ。神々とうるさいんだ。
She kept chomping watermelon, even with all her pouting.
あんたね、社会性ってものが欠如してるんだから。面倒見てくれる人の言うことくらいちゃんと聞かなきゃダメでしょうが。
大人は疲れるんだ。仕事ってみんなうるさくてな。まだ大学生のイスカにはわからないだろうけどな。
なんだとこの。
それより、そうだ、あまねちゃん、私らのスイカ残ってるでしょうね。
That's what you're worried about?
半分くらいは。
She ate half? The giant watermelon had shrunk by 50%.
楽しみにしてたのに。すまない。お腹が空いてたんだ。昨日から何も食べてなくてな。これはもうお願いを聞いてもらうしかないわね。
Bruh, the best I could do is a quarter. Right?
なんだお願いって。引退フライトまで臨時の監督やってよ、あまねちゃん。臨時の監督？ああ、構わないぞ。やったー。その代わりそれまでここの机を借りてていいか？
We all looked at Asa. It was her place after all.
もちろん構いませんよ。いくらでも使ってください。はーい、やったー。お風呂にはちゃんと入ってくださいね。あかりさんへの連絡はどうする？
If we do, she'll just take her home.
黙ってましょう。あかりさんには悪いけど。
So, it was settled. Sorry, Akari.
行くわよ。
Kotsuri announced to the members gathered around the monitor and clicked the mouse. The 3D glider model on the screen performed an aerobatic move, white smoke trailing from its wingtips.
かっこいい。かなり見応えありそうですね。おお、いいじゃんいいじゃん。
Everyone seemed impressed. We were watching a simulation Kotsuri had programmed.
私たちにできるアクロバット飛行をシミュレータで再現してみたの。例の煙のギミックもつけてみたわ。いつの間 間にこんな機能を実装したんだ？
Kotori had made a movie using the additional functions she'd programmed into Amane Simulator. So instead of just using it for training, we could input flight plans and watch the flight, just like a spectator. Even though Kotori had said herself it wasn't a very useful function,
空いた時間で作ってみたのよ。役に立ってよかったわ。グライダーでこんな飛び方もできるんですね。翼から白い尾を引いてるおかげで迫力が違うわね。それでも私たちの機体は重量の重い複座機だし、アクロバットには不向きなのよね。
originally, Amane had designed it specifically for the Morning Glory flight. It hadn't been designed for aerobatics. But I still think the audience will enjoy it. We'll get a chance to show off our skills.
そうね。お遊びサークルとか抜かしてたどっかのじいさんをギャフンと言わせてやるんだから。すみません、すみません。
Ageha, how's it going with you?
あとは取り付けだけ。はるみくんに手伝ってもらえば明日の午前中には終わると思うけど。
もう一機のラジコン飛行機の改造はもうできてます。
Kotori had recommended flying two in tandem, so they'd equipped another plane.
シミュレータとラジコン飛行機とでリハーサルの代わりができそうね。
Everyone seemed relieved when she said this. We were all really worried that we'd have to go into the final flight with zero practice. Especially now, with all the people coming to watch, and the futures of the Soaring Club and Isuka's group riding on it.
それじゃあ今日は後片付けして撤収にしましょうか。明日は朝からやるわよ。アイス食べてく人。
Kotori asked everyone, like usual, when we reached the front of the convenience store. This was where we split up, the dorm people, the station people, the neighborhood people. Even though everyone was exhausted by the long day, we all still shuffled into the shop.
今日は奮発してハーゲンダッツのストロベリー願掛けってやつね。私はちょいと金欠だからバリバリ君用なし味でいいや。私も貧乏なんでバリバリ君ポタージュ味。
Aw, Haruka.
何それ、そんなのあるの？あるっすよ、ちゃんと。というかまるっきりコーンポタージュの味がするっす。美味しそう。私もそれにすればよかった。姉さんも物好きね。
As the girls went into a frenzy over choosing their ice creams, Harumi and I went outside to wait. I'm really glad you joined Harumi.
は
一時はどうなることかと思ったけど、なんとか間に合いそうね。おまねちゃんも無事捕獲できてよかったわ。先輩たちの最後のフライトですもんね。
Asa seemed kind of sad.
最悪、私たち全員にとってのラストフライトになりかねないけどね。そうならないように頑張ってくださいね、先輩。心配しなくてもうまくいくわよ。あまねちゃんもいてくれるしね。なんだろうね、別に何もしてくれなくてもいてくれるだけで安心感があるっていうか。
I guess since we want to put on a good show, we are really going all out on this one. We'd left Amane back in the office. She'd apparently reversed her internal clock and was now hard at work.
変な先輩っすよね。私、机の下に寝てるの発見した時思わず悲鳴上げちゃったっすよ。その声聞いて目を覚まして私の顔見て、いやー美味しそうなスイカだねって言ったっす。
I could imagine it as clearly as if I'd been there to see it.
ごめんね、あんな変な人が伝説の先輩で。だからこそのレジェンドなんだけどね。
Everyone talked on as we finished our ice cream and threw away our trash.
それじゃ帰りますか。はるみちゃん、桐野さんのナイト役よろしくね。
はい。
Harumi answered. His face went bright red and he stood up straight as a rod.
桐野さん、行こうか。
それじゃ先輩、また明日っす。
Haruka waved and walked off with Harumi, totally oblivious.
はるみちゃんのうぶさも大概だけど、あれ見て何にも気づいてない様子の桐野さんも大概だわね。
Asa, Yoru, you two use the bath first, okay?
ヨルちゃん、背中流しっこしよう。今日は汗かいたから早くさっぱりしたい。
The twins chatted happily as they went inside. I stopped and turned back to look the way we'd come. Kotori was about to follow Asa and Yoru inside, but she noticed me and stopped too.
どうしたの？
Huh? Oh, nothing. I was looking off toward our secret base. It's our actual final flight. Which means it's our last chance.
何か言った？
No, nothing. I'm going to take off tomorrow afternoon for a bit.
多分大丈夫だと思うけど、何か用事なの？
Yeah, kind of. I wasn't sure before, but I've put together my own plan.
何計画って？
You'll see when the time comes. I turned and went past her into the dorm.
何よ時期って、それいつよ。
Don't forget to lock up.
こら、葵。
The next morning, I stopped by school to report to Mr. Yamanobe about Amane's supervision. After that, I went straight to the hangar to help with the final preparations.
このボタンを押せば煙が出るから。
Ageha had finished attaching the smoke equipment to the wingtips. She was telling Kotori and I about the remote installed in the cockpit.
煙が出るのは5分少々。それが限界だった。十分よ。ね、葵。
Yeah. We would use those 5 minutes to do the absolute best aerobics we could do. We'd worked it out yesterday in yesterday's meeting. We would be taking turns piloting during the aerobatics. We each had different specialties in the cockpit.
小鳥先輩、こっち準備できました。わかった、すぐ行く。
Everyone was outside. 2 RC planes were there on standby.
いいわよ、始めて。せーの。
The 2 planes took off together. Asa and Yoru each controlled one.
姉さん、合わせるわ。お願い。
2 planes had been flying separately, but they drew closer and then started flying as one. Yoru was following Asa's plane.
もう少し離れて飛べない？やってみます。
As Kotori ordered, the 2 RC planes spread out to about a glider wingtip width. It must have been incredibly difficult to maintain that distance.
さすが双子ね。
Kotori was really impressed by the synchronized flying.
アゲハ先輩、お願いします。じゃあ行くよ。ポチッとな。
Ageha set off the smoke trails, and the 2 RC planes started leaving traces. It drew 2 white lines across the sky. Ah, I see now. So that's how it looks.
エルロンロール、行きます。
two planes spun just the way a glider's wingtips would move during a roll, tracing the lines. The white lines drew a double helix.
綺麗っすね。
うん
Everyone loved it. I thought it would work too. However, Kotori? What's wrong?
いや別にいいんじゃないかな。
Kotori was oddly quiet. I thought she'd be the most excited.
おお、やってるな。
Amane came sneaking out of the hangar. I guess she heard the noise and came to see what's up.
これか、アクロバット飛行って。
Amane stood shading her eyes with her hand, watching the synchronized RC flying, which in itself was a pretty great performance.
どうですか、あまね先輩。いいんじゃないか。
She said, without any particular emotion. She was less impressed than expected. This is more or less our plan for tomorrow.
ああ、見させてもらったぞ。引退フライトの計画書。何せ監督だからな。
She stuck her perfectly shaped nose in the air proudly. We had asked her for her help, but she was acting like it was a huge deal or something.
どう思った？そうだな。
Amane seemed uncharacteristically hesitant to speak.
いいと思ったぞ。ただ、なんだか君たちらしくなかったな。私たちらしくない？
You mean the aerobatics?
でも、普通に飛んでも見てる方はつまんないだろうし。まあ、そうなんだがな。
Her face looked troubled as she watched the smoke drawn by the two RC planes.
そうだな。今のは忘れてくれ。
Amane, having finished her thought, walked off holding a small plastic bucket. Where are you going?
お風呂入ってくる。
She waved and walked off down the hill. After we finished the RC plane test, we all ate lunch in the corner of the hangar.
先輩たち、なんか暗いね。テストはうまくいったのに、なんで失敗したみたいな空気になってんですか？だってね。
Ageha sighed. A meatball from her bento stuck on her chopsticks.
あまね先輩にあんな風に言われちゃったらさ。
でもすごくいいと思いましたよ。俺見応えあると思います。
私もそう思うっす。
The younger students did their best to cheer us up, but we were all pretty low.
あまねちゃんの言う通りよ。私たちらしくない。だって私たち今までアクロバット飛行なんてやってこなかったんだもの。そうだよね。
This time had just been a little practice for the event. Not that much more than playing around to see what we could do. So, we should just fly around like normal? No one answered my question. No one thought it was bad to do aerobatics. We had come up with the idea of aerobatics to give the audience something to watch. And yet... But it's not really you, is it? Somehow it all seemed thin. But we'd ignored that and kept going because we didn't have any other ideas. When she says it like that, it kind of hits home, doesn't it?
先輩のことがっかりさせちゃったみたいな気になる。いつまでも先輩離れできない人たちですね。これから引退していくっていうのに。ちょっとヨルちゃん。そういや葵、午後から抜けるって言ってなかったっけ？
Yeah.
今のうちに行ってきたら？どんな用事か知らないけど。
Oh, yeah. That's right. I'll do that. I closed up my bento and stood to leave. I wasn't in the mood though.
どこか行くの？
Just out for a bit.
なんか個人的な計画があるんだって。
Kotori did not look pleased. But apparently she wasn't in the mood to push it either. I should be back in about an hour, I said, and I left. I bought it. But I'm not sure this is a good time, I said to myself, sighing. I'd left everyone back at the hangar in a real funk, and I was worried how they were doing. Well, I'm done shopping, so I guess I'll head back. I hurried through Wendy's crowded in the summer vacation afternoon. And then...
よう、葵じゃないか。
Tatsuya appeared out of the crowd. Hey Tatsuya, what's up?
アゲハの親父さんに届け物だよ。
We were right in front of Ageha's family shop, Himegi Sports.
お前こそ、こんなところで何してるんだ？
Oh, just, you know. I hid my shopping bag behind my back. Are you headed back?
ああ。
Tatsuya said and started walking. I walked along beside him.
あまねがそんなことを。
Everyone's really down. Me too, actually.
確かに、アクロバット飛行はお前たちらしくないかもな。
But we've got guests coming, so just flying is kind of boring.
それでも十分に見物だと思うぞ。
People who weren't used to a glider might actually find it exciting enough. You really think so?
さあな。
Maybe.
観客のことなんか気にするな。明日の主役はお前たちなんだから。自分たちのやりたいことをすればいいじゃないか。
I wonder what that is. And then, I understood it. We didn't really want to do aerobatics at all. That was what Amane had meant, and we were all upset because she was right on the nose.
いつかなら多分こう言うんじゃないかな。君の正しい答えはそこにある。
Saying this, he pointed at my chest. Here, huh? I just now realized that the feeling of excitement we'd shared when Izuka had first asked for help was gone. We'd focused too much on the presentation and on the schedule, I thought. We'll try something else. Something more fitting to our final flight.
ああ、頑張れ。
Tatsuya said and ruffled my hair. Hey, come on, Tatsuya.
明日楽しみにしてるぞ。
おじいちゃんからだ。はい、もしもし朝です。はい。はい。え？おじさんが？うん、わかりました。それじゃ。おじいちゃんって もしかして理事長さん？
はい、おじいちゃんからのことづてで明日俊一おじさんも見に来るそうです。
誰それ？
市長です。
市長？北斗七星の脇で光ってるあの見えちゃいけない星？
違います。うちの市の市長です。
なんで市長さんが見に来るわけ？
俊一おじさんはおじいちゃんのお友達なんですよ。他にもお友達がたくさん見に来るって言ってました。
いや、意味わかんないし、なんでうちらの引退フライトをそんな偉い人が見に来るの？
さあ、これは何か企んでるわね。
どうしよう。小鳥は小鳥どこ行った？
部長ならさっき出て行きましたよ。
大変だ
I passed by the dorm to drop my stuff off and headed back towards the hangar. I found Kotori sitting alone on the hill. She was staring absently up at the clouds, flowing past. I started to call out, but stopped. Her face had that look, just like the day she whispered. The sky looked so far away.
葵？
Kotori noticed me first and called out.
もう用事は済んだの？
Yeah. Sorry to take off like that,
別に。
she said and looked back to the sky. Are you thinking about something? She didn't offer any further answers. She stretched her hand up toward the sky.
少し近づいたと思ったのにな。あまねちゃんの言う通りよね。
Graduation?
なんか
Ah,
全然
yes.
私たちらしくない
Graduation.
こと。
The Kanye West album. I know the one. Yeah.
あまねちゃんがあんなこと言ったのはさ、あまねちゃんも私たちとの思い出を特別に
100%.
思ってくれてるからだよね。だから私たちが私たちらしくないことするのが嫌だったんじゃないかな。
I think so too. Why else would Amane have chosen her words so carefully? She knew that what she had said would have a real influence on us.
その気持ちを裏切るフライトが私たちの最後のフライトだなんて。そう思うと足が震えてくる。どうしよう、こんなんじゃ明日飛べないよ。
Kotori wrapped her arms around herself like she was freezing cold.
あの時と同じ桐野さんを乗せてストールした時と。
Hi, nice to see you.
Hello, Jay. How you doing?
あの時私空に見放された気がした。また同じになりそうで怖い。
Kotori. Even this close to her, I couldn't think of anything to say. Good, matey. How you? I'm good. I'm good. Just chilling. Good weekend. Can't complain. I was lost in the same fog of confusion.
はい、部長。
And then Haruka came. She came running up in a panic.
ここにいたっすか。部長、ハゲハ先輩が呼んでるっす。大変だーって騒いでるっす。
Kotori just hung her head, not even looking at Haruka.
部長、どうしたっすか。桐野さん、 あの時はごめんね。あの時私のせいで怖い思いさせちゃったから。
I need to sort out my headset or buy a mic too. Just be like me and buy a shitty mic that for some reason sounds alright. Kotori had apologized over and over already, and Haruka could only cock her head in confusion, not sure what she meant.
先輩たち元気ないっすね。どうしちゃったんすか？
Buy a $15 mic and adjust it like offer. I think maybe she just feels she's lost her way a bit.
飛び方を忘れちゃったみたいなの。
飛び方っすか。
Kotori nodded weakly.
もしかしたら明日飛べないかもしれない。
Haruka's expression fell as she saw how miserable Kotori was.
それは残念っす。また部長たちのフライトが見られるって楽しみにしてたのに。
She said, and sat down beside Kotori. England doesn't have anything cheap now. Oh no. Queen's dead, everything's expensive. Britain. Salute. GG Nori. She wrapped her arms around her knees and rocked forward and back a little.
見たかったっす。部長の飛ぶところ。
Kotori seemed uncomfortable now, sulking like a child beside Haruka. Haruka couldn't pilot the glider herself, but she did really seem to enjoy watching the rest of us do it.
あなた、私が飛んでるところを
See you in the next Minecraft
スワリン
shoot.
グ部に入部したって言ってたわよね。
Bye, Jay!
はい、そうっす。
その時私どんな風に飛んでた？
Good, good. Kotori asked timidly. I think she wanted to remember how it felt to enjoy flying by hearing Haruka's memory of it.
どんなってすっごいかっこよかったっすよ。もう最高でした。
Haruka's voice rose, like she was reliving the excitement of that day. Kotori and I were kind of taken by surprise. We hadn't been doing any aerobatics, just boring old glider flight. So why would she be that excited? Haruka gazed out over the hill, her eyes far away.
あの朝焼けの空を部長たちが飛んでいったっす。
Wait, what did you say?
だから朝焼けの空っすよ。みんなでここに集まって見てたっす。
それもしかして2年前のモーニンググローリ
モーニングなんか綺麗な雲の道ができてたっす。
Kotori and I stared at each other in shock. You were there too?
はい、いたっすよ。あの綱引きみたいなのもやったっす。
Kotori stared at Haruka like she couldn't believe what she was hearing. But back then, you weren't...
お姉ちゃんが慶風の卒業生っす。なんかお友達から電話がかかってきて、私も連れてってくれたっす。
じゃああなたはあの時私を飛ばせてくれた人だったんだ。
A huge crowd of people had pulled the rope to help us take off. And apparently, Haruka had been one of them.
一度離陸して見えなくなった後、夜明け前の丘を大きな翼を広げたグライダーが駆け上がってきたっす。超感動したっす。かっこいいなーって。それで私スワリング部に入ったっすよ。
Haruka looked almost embarrassed, but happy. The sight made Kotori shake. It was like she was just trying to take it all in.
そういうそういう大事なことはもっと早く言いなさいよ。すみませんせ。そうなんだ。あなたがあの時私を飛ばせてくれたんだ。
After she screamed at Haruka, Kotori kept repeating this to herself. That day, we'd only taken off with everyone's help. We never could have done it ourselves. That's it!
何？
Kotori spun when I suddenly shouted. I thought of something great. I whispered my idea into Kotori's ear. Kotori's eyes widened at my idea. Kotori tried to talk, but nothing came out. Instead, she took my open hand and forcefully held it to the left side of her chest. Kotori's heart thundered in her chest. That racing heartbeat explained her excitement more eloquently than any words possibly could. And Kotori looked up to the sky. The white clouds flowed slowly across the brilliant blue background.
高いけど飛びたい。
Yeah, let's fly.
小鳥先輩帰ってきました。小鳥、大変なの。
そんなのあとみんな集まって。
Kotori brushed Ageha off and gathered the club. She rushed through our new flight plan.
マジっすか。マジよ。大マジ。
Ageha looked over at me, her face breaking out in a cold sweat. Let's do it. I think it's the only way.
私もいいと思います。エルドンロールするより先輩たちらしいわね。
そんなことができるなら見てみたいです。
私も。
Ageha looked over everyone's face and sighed dramatically.
ぶっつけ本番ってとこも私たちらしいわね。
We all agreed.
よーし完了。撤収としますか。
Ageha said after confirming all the preparations were done for tomorrow. The glider had been serviced to the tiniest part. All the equipment was ready and inspected. We borrowed seats and a tent for an emergency VIP area. I can't believe the mayor is coming.
一体何を見に来るのかしら。
なんかすみません。うちのおじいちゃんが。
With our new flight plan, we had to announce a new meeting location to all of our guests that we had invited. We'd gone over everyone's roles at the meeting before. There was nothing left to do.
私もうちょっと残ってく。起こしちゃえばいいんじゃない？なんか気持ちよさそうに寝てるし。
The girls were talking about Amane. No one had told our supervisor about the flight plan change. She had been sleeping under the desk ever since she took her noon bath.
私もう少し残ってくから、アゲハたちは先帰ってていいよ。
Ageha thought a bit before nodding.
了解。じゃあ葵、お姫様のこと頼んだわよ。
Yeah,
先輩、明日頑張りましょうね。さようなら、先輩。
お先に失礼します。
お疲れ様っす。
everyone headed home with Ageha. The huge hangar suddenly fell silent. It's great to have another guy around. If Harumi hadn't been around, I would have been the one to send them off.
てる。
We waited a bit, but Amane showed no sign of waking. She's not going to move a muscle unless she smells food.
どっかに七輪とサンマでも落ちてないかしら。
Oh, is she a cat?
新しいフライトプラン見てほしいのに。
She was like a kid looking for approval. Like Yoru had said, we couldn't get away from Amane. I found it cute how Kotori never lost her innocent idolization of Amane. If you print it out and leave it by her pillow, she'll see it when she wakes up.
寝ぼけて食べちゃったりしないかしら。
I couldn't say it was impossible. Here, I'll put it under this gelatin cup. She'll definitely find it then. Harumi had gone and bought some for everyone during work.
明日フライト前にたっぷりと感想を聞くわ。
Kotori said reluctantly as she placed the printout of our new flight plan by Amane's pillow. She weighed it down with some peach gelatin. The top of the hill offered a full view of the night sky.
こっち来て。
Kotori trundled along with her cane. Careful, you'll trip again.
セーフ。
Kotori stumbled but somehow managed to keep from falling over by flopping down onto the grass instead. Kotori's voice beside me was filled with awe.
ほら、葵も寝てみなさいよ。すごいわよ。
What? I lay down on the grass and looked up. The starry sky completely filled my eyes.
Hi, nice to see you.
Hello, Gabite. How you doing? The air was especially clear tonight, and even the tiniest stars twinkled brightly. It's beautiful. Kotori's eyes sparkled, and I took her hand in mine. It's like we're floating up into the sky, hand in hand. The twinkling stars seemed ready to sweep down on us.
星空の下を飛べたら気持ちいいでしょうね。宇宙にいるみたいに感じるんじゃないかしら。月にまで手が届きそう。
Kotori reached her other hand up towards the sky. I got the 2 new characters in Blue Archive. How about you? I'm good, I'm good. Congrats! Fuck yeah. It really did feel like you could reach out and touch the blazing moon. When we flew before dawn, it was so amazing to look down on the lights below.
綺麗だった。
Hi, nice to see you.
Offer? Streaming on a Sunday? Hello, White Mech, how you doing? That was the day we flew the cloud corridor. Looking down from the pre-dawn sky, we saw our town glowing below. Yup, he is. My patience was worth it. It was like someone had spilled stardust over the hills.
それからほら
Just woke up.
ゆかさんたちのサイ
Shake
レ
my
ンの
head,
中
shake
に
my head. You're 1 hour late, White Mech. That's a 0 out of 10 right there. I'm good, I'm good. Yeah. Everyone who'd come to help had held glow sticks, covering the hill in a trail of light. I'd never forget the feeling of seeing them like that.
桐野さん、あの光の中にいたんだね。
Yeah. I still can't believe it. I laughed, thinking about the day's revelation.
明日また飛ぶのか。
Kotori said, her voice sounding weak. Are you nervous?
うん
Kotori nodded sincerely. It was our first time going up since our practice flight before the finals. Kotori had messed up and caused the stall, so she hadn't flown since then. Kotori gripped my hand more firmly.
もう最後なんだね
I haven't slept. I've been playing Punishing and Honkai. Salute. GG Nori. Yeah.
なんかあんまり実感ないけどでも明日飛んだらもう最後なんだ
We might never fly the sky over Kasugaura again. At the very least, it would be a while. Well, we'd better put on a good show.
もちろん
Hi, nice to see
後
you.
輩たちの目に
Hello,
かっ
it's
こいい
Pilot.
私
How
た
you
ちを
doing?
焼き付けさせなきゃそれが先輩としての私たちの最後の仕事だ
What the fuck, White Vic? Thank you for the tier and sub with your prime. Let's fucking go. You didn't have to do that, you little shit. Ads. Oh, that's a rip. Kotori said, and rolled over to put her head on my chest. I got free prime for being student. Oh, true, that is a thing. Hello, it's Pilot. How you doing? Welcome from the ads. Hey, what's this all of a sudden? We weren't talking about that.
うんだってうずうずするんだもん
Good you?
このま
I'm
ま
good,
じゃ
I'm
明
good.
日までこらえられそうにない
Chill weekend, can't complain. Currently playing If My Heart Had Wings, Flight Diary. I was about to say Dairy. Boy, would that be a different game if it was Flight Dairy. Should I sleep or continue playing? You should play Blue Archive and get up to level 16 or mission 16. Easy, you got this, Gabite. I fucking believe in you. Old clip. Triggers are off. Unfortunately, it's Pilot. So you get those points back once I put the triggers back up. Where did she think we were?
うーん
Kotori started to crawl up onto me. Ah, okay. I was actually feeling the same as Kotori. I was so tense. Felt like I'd never sleep again. Cute anime girl. It wasn't like we'd have to worry about anyone finding us out here at this time of night. We held each other there on the grass, kissing deeply. Her lips pressing against mine were soft and sweet. Cut the shit out of Kotori. The sweet and lovely feeling quickly turned to sadness as we thought about losing each other. Kotori's lips left mine and her face looked so lonely.
引退したら離れ離れになっちゃうね
After I left the club, I'd be moving out of the dorm. Between the club and the dorm, Kotori and I had been together all the time. And now we were leaving both of those behind. Yeah, I guess so.
うんちょっと
Bye,
心配と
Violet.
かしたらどうな
See you
の
next time. About what?
大学だってさ一緒に行かないしさ住むとこだって別だしさ
Why are you two in the middle of the night, out of nowhere? Well, Gabite, you'll never find out. There were lots of couples who lived like that.
心配じゃないの私美少女よ
Kotori said, her face totally serious. How old are you? Can you still call yourself a maiden? What? I'm sorry. My girlfriend will always be a beautiful young maiden.
うん
Looking at the stars, I understand. It's not that I'm not worried, but
けど
I've got a secret weapon. I'll show you later. I dodged her question by standing up with her in my arms. Okay, let's go home.
やだ、もうちょっとここにいたい。
Get out of here. You got your sex in GTA. Kotori said and clamped onto me. We've got to turn in early.
じゃあおんぶして。
Kotori didn't wait for my answer, just climbed up on my back. What a spoiled little princess. But I started to walk, carrying her on my back.
よーし、突破せー。
Yes, Your Majesty. Playing the white horse rather than the knight, I charged off into the darkness.
なんだこれ。フライトプラン改訂版。今夜は星が綺麗に見えるな。明日は晴れそうだ。
It was a morning like any other. But for us, it was special. I woke up a little earlier than normal to put on something special to match the occasion. Then, whipped, the curtains opened.
よし。
Sunlight streamed through the gap in the curtains and over my face, like a kick to the eyelids. I looked at the clock and groaned. It was 40 minutes before my alarm. I crawled out of bed yawning and opened the curtains. Okay. The sky was clear. It was a perfect day for a flight. Today was our final flight. The last time we would fly as part of the Keifu Academy Soaring Club. The day we would return to the sky. I washed my face, brushed my teeth, and fixed my bedhead. There was no need to hurry, but I still rushed to Kotori's door, which I found already open.
おはよう、葵。
Good morning? Kotori? You're all dressed up today.
今朝の空に合わせてコーディネートしたのよ。見なかった？窓から。
I saw. I think you match it perfectly.
当然。
Once she'd finished getting ready, I had Kotori help me make breakfast for everyone. We made sandwiches and packed them into lunch boxes.
ここで食べていかないの？
I imagine Amane's getting hungry.
危ないわ。
Asa came in rubbing her eyes. She honestly looked asleep on her feet.
おはようございます。
Yoru followed her in.
おはよう、双子シスターズ。
Morning. You look awful sleepy, Asa.
昨日の夜、ドキドキしてあまり眠れなかったです。
Oh, don't yawn. God damn it.
先輩たちはちゃんと眠れたんですか？
Yeah.
バッチリよ。そうだね。姉さんが心配することじゃないのよ。この人たち見た目以上に肝が太いんだから。
Today we've packed breakfast. Let's all eat at the site.
晴天。
Small fluffy clouds floated gently in the brilliant blue sky. A perfect match for Kosari's dress.
なに？ハトちゃんも一緒に行きたいの？わあ。しょうがないわね。特別に連れてってあげましょうか。ハトちゃん、行って。
There is that dog.
ついに姉さんまでアヒルと会話し始めた。おーいみんなー。アゲハ、おはよう。おはようございます、アゲハ先輩。おはようございます。
Ran into Ageha in front of the convenience store, almost like we'd planned it. I'm deleting all of my JP games. I don't want to play the same game I played with a different language that I can't read. Fair enough. Fair call. You're early. We've still got tons of time.
昨日気合い入れて早く寝すぎちゃってさ。そしたら早く目が覚めちゃったのよ。
She must have come to get breakfast at the convenience store. Yeah, after breakfast. Here you go. We made some for you too.
なんて気が利くのあんたは。
Imagine being able to read. Yeah, it couldn't be white, mate.
さあ行きましょう。私さっきからお腹ペコペコなの。
The sound of the metal door opening echoed through the inside of the hangar. The interior was filled with a calm mood. It was a special privilege for the first person to enter and enjoy that sensation. Or so I thought.
葵くんか。早いな。
Oh, hi Amane.
あまねちゃん。
Kotsuri followed me in, her face surprised.
ほんとだ。おはようあまねちゃん。もう起きてたんだ。ああ、昨日の10時頃に起きたからな。どうだ、早起きだろ。それ、寝てないだけじゃないの。自慢げに言うのやめてくれる？
She'd been the first one up, though, no doubt. What'd you do all night?
機体の点検をな。一応監督だからな。けど、さすがアゲハだな。どこも文句のつけようがなかった。当たり前よ。あまねちゃんこそ変なとこ触って壊したりしてないでしょうね。そんなことしないぞ。ところで、ねえ、見てくれた？何をだ？昨日枕元に置いといたでしょ？ああ、あのゼリーは小鳥がくれたのか。桃がプリプリで美味しかった。違う！神よ神！新しいフライトプラン見てないの？
The game I really want to delete, but also don't, is F-Go. We may as well keep that. You've already sunk so much, I presume, money and time into it. That one you should at least keep.
おお、あれか。読んだぞ。どうだった？
Kotori asked nervously.
うんいいんじゃないか。それだけ？
Professor Airhead strikes again.
そうだな。前のよりずっと君たちらしいと思った。
Kotori grabbed my arm and hopped in glee.
実はさっきからなんだか落ち着かなくてな。それで機体の点検をしていた。早く君たちが飛ぶところが見たいんだ。ニマ、聞いた？葵。
Yeah, I did.
見せてあげるからね。
I'm gonna keep
私た
both
ち
of
の
them.
最後のフライト。
Damn! We heard the hangar door open behind us. Agaha and the others were supposed to be in the office.
あれ、先輩たちもう来てるっす。
本当だ、まだ1時間あるのに。
Good morning, you two. You're here early.
おはようございます、先輩。中村さんと2人で明日は早く行こうって言ってたっすよ。
何か準備できることとかないかと思ったんですが。
甘かったわね。私たちはね、楽しみなことがあると張り切りすぎちゃう人たちなのよ。
I guess it was the nerves. Almost like a bunch of kids.
おはようっす。
After Haruka and Harumi, it was Isuka's turn to come in.
いやー、なんか張り切りすぎちゃって予定より1時間も早起きしちゃったよ。
Isuka's high energy greeting brought a smile to our faces.
伝統だな、ソアリング部の。
何が？
Anyway, well, since everyone's here, how about some breakfast? We made enough for everyone.
はーい、葵くんのお弁当だ。
It was 9 in the morning. That meant our guests would be arriving soon. We'd finished breakfast and our pre-flight preparations too.
小鳥、フライト前の挨拶よろしく。そうね。
Kotsure climbed up on a box at Ageha's urging. Maybe it wasn't the best idea, but I didn't say anything. Kotsure was light as a feather, so she wouldn't hurt whatever was in the box.
5本。では、部長よりありがたい訓示を一つ。今日は大勢の人が見に来てくれます。でもってその人たち次第で部の存続が危うかったり、ここにおられるイスカさんの野望がついえたりします。とっても大切な日です。
Isuka pumped one fist in the air. She was clearly ready to go.
ですが、それは一旦忘れましょう。忘れちゃうんですか？
Kotsure nodded.
まずは私たちが楽しむこと、私たちらしくね。楽しむことを全力で頑張る。もしそれでダメなんだったら、きっとそれはしょうがないことなのよ。
When she said this, Kotsure suddenly choked up. Everyone waited until she found her words again.
自分の好きなことで、大切な場所で嘘をついちゃダメ。飛ぶなら私たちらしく。なんか結構まともなことを言ってる気がする。てっきりもっとネタに走るものと思ってたのに、こりゃ昨日から考えてたな。部長、かっこいいっす。
俺感動しました。
Kotsure had a satisfied grin on her face. She threw her fist into the air and shouted.
さあ、行くわよ、野郎ども。
Let's fucking go. The roar of approval reverberated throughout the hangar. It was showtime. We opened the hangar loading door and saw that people were already gathering. They were the members of the local chamber of commerce my mom and Agaha's dad had invited. Keifu Academy teachers had arrived as well, dragged along by Mr. Tobioka. Old man Kazuto and his group arrived in expensive-looking, shiny black cars. And then there were our original guests, all of the people we'd invited because of the support they'd given us.
よー来たぞ
Hatsuya,
おはよう兄。
おーっす来てやったぞ
thanks for coming, Hotaru. You too, Mahabo,
あーちゃんね
Akari.
絶対見なきゃ損するって。
俺も一応手伝ったんだしなここでヘマしたら承知しねえぞ
Yeah, yeah, we know.
五十嵐くん来てくれてありがとう。
俺たちは引退フライトなんてできなかったもんな。
うんそうだね。
俺らの分まで葵たちに飛んでもらおう。
Okay, I'm counting on you later.
ああ任せとけ。
おじいちゃん。
おお朝久しぶりじゃの元気じゃったかお前今度部長になるそうじゃな
先輩たちがね私がいいって言ってくれたの。
そうかそうか
俊一おじさんもお久しぶりです。
いやあ朝ちゃん大きくなったね今日は楽しみにしてるよ
うわぁ本当に市長さん来てるよ。あの顔選挙ポスターで見たことある。あっちに市議会議員もいますね。ここで選挙活動でもする気かしら。どちらかというと視察？お先生たちも大勢来てるじゃないか。賑やかだな。飛び岡発見。今度邪魔したらただじゃおかないんだから。ことりちゃん。あ、ひばりねなんでいるの？だって今日はことりちゃんの晴れ舞台ですもの。お姉ちゃんお仕事お休みしてきちゃった。それ何？ビデオカメラ？そうよ。これで撮影してお父さんとお母さんにも見せてあげるの。きっと感動するわよ。我が家の家宝になるわね。ひばりねえなら編集して字幕まで入れてくれそうね。やっほー見に来たよ。
Hi, Kanako. Looks like you brought a whole crowd. They must have been her college friends. She had about 10 people along.
見たいって子みんな連れてきちゃった。未来のクラブ会員候補だよ。
That's a huge help.
葵くんほんの数日で随分といい顔になったね。
Really?
他のみんなもそうだね。いい顔になってる。若いっていいな。
I mean, you're still pretty young.
あらハット先輩こんちゃーっす。
Would you mind looking after him?
はいよハット先輩一緒に見てよっか。やっぱりここだった。
A voice thick with resentment pierced the happy atmosphere.
望月先生あかりだ。
Amane turned to escape Akari, whose face was frozen in a mask of rage.
お待ちなさい。やだ叱られる。
Amane ducked for safety behind her dear friend's back.
いつか助けてくれ。
どうしたのあまね。
望月先生。
あ
Iska grabbed her cowering friend by the scruff of the neck and placed her in front of Akari. FGO's 6th anniversary for NA is going to be a little fun. Ooh, good shit.
うわー、何をする。大人なんでしょ。じゃあ責任は取らないとね。ご協力感謝します。さあ、望月先生。
The serious assistant and that best friend of
やだ、帰らないぞ。私には監督の仕事があるんだ。じゃあそれが終わったらおとなしく帰ってきてくださいますか。終わったらな。わかりました。ではそれまで私もここで待たせていただきます。うん、そうするといい。きっと楽しいから。
people kept gathering. And before anyone noticed, it was like a festival had formed in front of the hangar.
今日もまたすっごい人っすね。
Brianskaya of what? Who?
ああ、こんなに人が集まるなんて。先輩たち、本当に何者なんだ。
Is that bitch Tamamo?
水瀬くん、小鳥ちゃん、いいかな。
Sure.
何ですか。挨拶に行くよ。
Iska dragged Kotori and me to greet Kazuto and his group.
今日は暑い中、わざわざご足労いただきありがとうございます。
Old man Kazuto nodded, his face dark, as if he was a totally different person from the one who'd chatted with Asa. You could tell what Asuka was thinking. Wait, you could tell what Isuka was thinking just from her face.
怖いよ。
She was trembling all over. However, Kotori was different.
ちゃんと見ててください。
Yes and no.
私たちのフライト。
もちろんじゃ。そのために来たんじゃからな。もしつまらんものを見せたらどうなるか分かってるじゃろうな。
もちろんよ。
Kotori stared defiantly in response to Kazuto's challenge.
ただのお遊びサークルじゃないってとこ、しっ
Hard
か
to
り見せて
explain?
あげ
It's
るわ。
okay. Don't explain shit. I know nothing about Lost Belt. Whoa, settle down, Kotori.
小鳥ちゃん。
Iska and I were stunned by her display.
小娘が言いよるわ。
After we moved on, a group gathered around Kazuto as his friends and would-be friends offered their own greetings. There we go. There we go. Hey, you sure it's okay to talk to him like that?
僕、心臓が止まるかと思ったよ。
いいのいいの。挑発してきたのはあっちなんだから。
Still, she didn't have to go and respond like that. What was she thinking?
それじゃあ僕はあっちで見てるから頑張ってね、二人とも。
Iska said and walked off, her expression worried. I looked over the crowd that had generated. There were so many people, and they'd all come just to see our flight. It looks like everyone we invited is here. Kotori nodded.
皆さん、聞いてください。
The babble from the crowd faded out as Kotori called out.
本日は朝早くからお集まりいただきありがとうございます。これより私たち慶風学園ソアリング部5年生の引退フライトを始めたいと思います。
Is this the final story? Yeah. The crowd reacted with cheers and applause. The club members went into action.
下がってくださいっす。
スペースを空けてください。
The younger students moved the crowd back to make space in front of the hangar door. Then we brought the glider out in pieces. First was the fuselage. Next we brought out the main wings. The crowd let out an ooh when they saw the size of them.
あれがグライダーの翼ですか。大きいですな。
そりゃそうじゃわい。何せエンジンの力を借りず、あの翼だけで飛ぶのじゃからな。
We assembled the glider, putting each section together one by one. It was the first time for most of the crowd to see this kind of work. There were some who'd seen us fly, but not seen us assemble the plane. They all watched with interest.
ずれてるずれてる、一旦戻して。そう、もう一回最初から。
You could feel the eyes of the teachers in Kazuto's group on us as we worked, and we needed them to understand how serious we took this work. But there was another reason we were serious. We were going to fly through the sky. We were going someplace it took humans centuries to reach. A single mistake could lead to disaster. We couldn't ease up, no matter how often we'd done this before. We were always this serious. With the main wings attached, we moved on to the tail wings. Right now I'm just looking at the event list. Ooh. The separate parts came together and soon we had put together our wide-winged glider. We'd given the audience a complete view from start to finish.
よーし、組み立て完了。次、点検いくよ。
We gave the glider a thorough inspection after every assembly. Were the wings secure? Was the pitot tube clear? Were the tires aired and undamaged? Had we left any tools behind? Age had directed everyone carefully through the checklist point by point.
じゃあ次、ポジティブコントロールチェック。葵、コックピットお願い。
Yep. As we went matter-of-factly through the check, those who knew about gliding probably started to get confused.
どうしてここで組み立てるんじゃ。まず滑走路へ運ばんといかんじゃろ。
先にグライダーの全身を我々に見せるつもりでしょうか。
朝ちゃん、夜ちゃん、あれをお願い。
Ageha called out the twins when the check neared completion. Asa and Yoru headed towards the hangar. Kotori watched from the side, then walked to the hillside and looked out over the scenery. A strong wind blew from the lake and flooded her long black hair.
十分。
Morgan is in the same year. Kotori whispered to herself and turned to the crowd, her face determined.
それではこれより発行準備に入ります。
何？ここで？
まさかあの子たち。そのまさかだ。
Asa and Yoru, with help from Harumi and Haruka, brought out something from the hangar.
よし、出番か。行くぞ、麻婆、ホタル。
おお、またあれやんのか。
なんだかワクワクするね。私も行くか。ハット先輩、ちょっとだけここで待っててね。わー。
Once we'd asked in advance started appearing out of the crowd. The others all buzzed in confusion, wondering what was happening.
なんでしょうかな、あれは。
なんと。ありゃゴム柵じゃ。
ゴム柵。
Exactly. It was a rubber-launched bungee. It was the rope that we'd used instead of our broken winch back when we'd flown the Morning Glory.
今日はここから飛び立ちます。この丘から皆さんのお力をお借りして。
なんじゃと？
この丘から。
It was this bungee that had been stored away in the hangar, which had formed the heart of our new flight plan. It was why we'd moved the venue from the runway to our secret base.
これはゴム柵曳行という発行方式です。 このゴムの束を皆さんに引いてもらって、その反動で離陸します。
The crowd started to grow restless. I could tell what they were thinking. Can pulling on some rubber band really help a plane take off? This isn't just some slingshot. We ourselves had felt the same the first time we'd heard about it. However, with this hill, it was a perfectly good way to launch.
もう少し人数が欲しいわね。皆さん、ご協力
Maybe it is.
誰かこのゴムを一緒に引いてくれませんか？
A few curious people stepped forward to answer the twins' call. Even a few teachers. Kobyako, who'd spent the whole time avoiding us, was urging the other teachers on.
僕も引くよ。
Iska came running up, nerves clearly jangling.
どうかされましたか？
なんでもない。
よーし、これで足りるわね。葵、小鳥、そろそろ出番だよ。
Yeah.
了解。
While the others got the bungee ready, we climbed into the cockpit.
では発行準備に入る前に説明を。まずこちらにいる朝ちゃんと夜ちゃんの2チームに分かれてもらいます。そんでもって引っ張ってもらうわけですけど。
Ageha explained the bungee launch system to everyone. The bungee cable was like a long rope made from rubber, split into two halves partway through. One end of the split section was given to each team. The important point was that each team pulled with the same amount of force. That's why we had the identical twins pace off how far they were to pull. It's about time. It was impossible to relax in the cockpit, waiting for flight prep. I went over the flight plan in my head. So, you're in charge of takeoff, just like we discussed.
了解。
Kotori's voice was tight with worry. It had been so long since she had last flown, and this was her last time to touch the sky as a student.
ところでさ、
What?
さっきからハさんとこのおじいちゃん妙に不機嫌そうなんだけど。
Probably wants to jump in. It was true. For some reason, he was glaring red-faced at the bungee preparations. Do you think this was a mistake?
なんか昔グライダーに乗ってたって言ってたもんね。
It was an odd choice since we had a runway with a winch to use this somewhat risky takeoff style. Did he find it offensive for some reason?
お嬢さん、
はい。
一つお尋ねしたいのじゃが、どうしてこのような方法で飛ぼうとしておるのかね。ウィンチが故障でもしたんですかな。
いえいえ、違います。あれはですね。
Amane and Kazuto were talking about something.
何？もしかして中止させようってんじゃ。
He might. Amane was our supervisor, if only for today. If the supervisor stopped the flight, it was over. As Kazuto listened to Amane talk, his face got even redder and he began to speaking in a rage. But flight preparations went on. Ageha attached the launch bungee to the tow hook underneath the glider. Kotori checked the hook controls once.
では皆さん、ゴム柵を持ってください。
Everyone grabbed the bungee on Ageha's order.
もう我慢できん。
Old man Kazuto's rage fell like lightning.
何？
わしにもやらせるのじゃ。
Yeah, he wants it. Let's go.
アゲハー、この人もゴム柵を引きたいって。
Amane's carefree voice clashed with the raging look on Kazuto's face. But could it be that he simply resented being left out?
どうぞどうぞ。
Amane, that is a director.
行くぞシュン、お前も来い。
はい。
And with that, Kazuto and the mayor joined the crowd of people holding the bungee.
何あれ、ずっと自分も引きたかったってこと？
I guess. Maybe he'd gone so red because he couldn't bring himself to say it. He was a different man now that he was holding the bungee rope. His eyes sparkled like a kid who'd got his favorite toy.
グライダーってこんな方法で飛ぶんですか？
バカ者。今時こんな方法で飛ぶグライダーなどあるもんか。
ですが、
ゴム作栄光はわしらの青春じゃった。
青春？それいつの時代ですか？
わしの若い頃はな、学校の体育の授業でプライマリー機を使ったフライト訓練があったんじゃ。
That explains why the old man wasn't involved. Yeah, 100%.
その時用いられたのがこのゴム作栄光じゃ。懐かしいな。
じゃあ今時こんなことするのは？
よほどのバカか、物好きじゃな。こんな方法で離陸してあのモーニンググローリーを目指したとは、こしゃくな若造どもめ。
なんだかよくわからないけど、あっちは大丈夫そうね。
Once the bungee launch prep was over, Ageha came over.
二人とも準備いい？
Yeah.
すぐにでも飛べるわ。よし、じゃあグッドラック。
Ageha closed the canopy. The noise and bustle of the outside world shut off, and our senses sharpened. Tension increased despite our effort.
これが最後のフライトなんだね。
Kotsuri whispered to herself.
ようやく実感が湧いてきたかも。
Yeah, same here. All of these people had come for this, for us, for our flight. And only now that they had did we understand its real value. We'd better put on a good show. I said, the same as I had the night before.
ええ、それが私たちの最後の仕事だもん。
As senior students, we wanted to be a good role model for the younger members. We also wanted everyone watching to see why we loved the sky and why we had worked so hard to get where we were. We felt that this was the fastest, most direct way to deal with all the problems the club was facing. Kochari glanced at the sky spreading out beyond the canopy. The sky is so far away. She had the same look as that last time when she'd whispered those words. Just as I was wondering if I should talk to her, Ageha's voice penetrated the silence.
では発砲準備を始めます。いきますよ。
Teams holding the bungee took paces as Ageha counted them off. 3, 6. The bungee began to tighten. We could no longer see the teams from the cockpit.
11, 12.
All we could do was listen to the voices outside counting down. Our nerves tightened right along with the bungee.
やっぱりこれちょっと怖いね。
Yeah, I can't believe we really took off like this before. And in the pre-dawn dark, aiming at the lake, It seemed so reckless now, but at the time, we were just happy to be flying. We had been so excited to be taking off towards the morning glory, we'd forgotten how scary it was. And now, here we were again, nervous, afraid, but as the moment approached, those feelings turned into exultation. Just like the bungee stretched tight to launch us into the air, we were storing up energy. All our feelings were built up in our pounding chests, awaiting the moment of release. I'm not scared. You'll get us up there. Ageha, directing the teams on the hill, stopped counting.
作準備よし。
It was time. Launch preparations were complete.
飛ぶのか本当にこんな方法で。
見ててください。すっごい迫力っすよ。
いよいよだ。頼んだよ、二人とも。
Ageha looked over to us.
いい？
Yeah. Kotori gave Ageha the thumbs up. It was time to go back to the sky.
行ってこい！
Ageha gave the signal to launch. Kotori cried out.
さあ、楽しむわよ。
She released the wheel brakes. And just as she did, the bungee contracted and the glider was thrown towards the slope. The acceleration was instant. The uneven ground shook us in the cockpit, but only for a moment.
あげるわ。
Kotori pulled back on the yoke. The glider tilted and began to lift.
浮いた離陸成功。
いや、まだ。これからよ。
Holy shit, she resonated with the fucking... I don't know what to call that. Synth, I guess. The energy from the bungee could only take us a few meters off the ground. It wasn't nearly enough acceleration. It soon ran out of lift and fall.
加速する。
Kotori immediately pushed the yoke forward. Nose dropped, and the glider began to descend. But we were still on a hillside. Even if we lost height, we wouldn't crash. Our wings caught the lake wind, and the glider slid down the face of the hill.
いった本当にこんな方法で飛べるんだ。
Akari's eyes.
何度見てもハラハラする離陸方法だわ。
With strong winds, we achieved enough airspeed and took off down the hill. Before we knew it, we were out over the lake. I now have TTS for my stream. Good. Our view suddenly opened up and we looked out over the lakeshore scenery. Sufficient airspeed achieved. Altitude also sufficient. Takeoff is a success.
了解。すぐに U ターンするわ。
There were downward air currents over the lake. It wouldn't be good to stay over the lake too long. Kotori immediately began to turn the glider.
おお飛んだぞ飛びおったぞ見たかしゃん
見ましたよ。
まさかこの年になってゴム柵栄光を目の当たりにできるとはの
なかなか面白いものを見せてもらいましたよ。これは迫力がある。
まだだよ。
なんじゃと
まだこの発光方法の半分を見たに過ぎないわ。
ここからがすごいんだから。
なんじゃ、どういうことじゃ。もったいぶらずに。
あ、戻ってきた。
何？
ほらほら、戻ってきたっすよ、中村さん。
あんな低いところを飛んでる。大丈夫なのか？
大丈夫っすよ。見ててください。
After our U-turn over the lake, we headed back towards Windmill
Hi,
Hill.
nice to see you.
I am looking forward to the new Fortnite season. Hey, let's go. Hello, Mark. How you doing? It's a nice sunny day. No need for the light stick trail today.
その分、みんなの姿がよく見えるわ。
Everyone looked so small, waving below us. We headed the glider back toward our takeoff point. Gonna stream the new season? Nah, I highly doubt I'll be awake by the time it comes up. Good to hear, Mark, good to hear. As we passed over the water and reached the hill, it felt like a hand grabbed us from below and pushed us up. Kochiri immediately pulled the yoke back and raised the nose.
スロープリフトに乗ったわ。
Fake Fortnite streamer. No, White Mech, you're the fake Fortnite streamer. When the wind blew off the lake, we got pushed up the hill and caused updrafts. That was called ridge lift. When those strong updrafts caught the wings, the glider climbed quickly. It all happened so quickly. I'm not even a streamer, bro. What a fake Fortnite streamer right here. Motherfucker, 0 out of 10. Speeding glider flew between the turbines and whipped over everyone's heads. And as we passed over the hangar at the top,
あまねちゃんだ。
we saw Amane, apart from everyone else, watching us quietly.
飛び立つこと、その大変さを君たちはよく知っている。みんなで翼を作り、飛ぶための場所を作ってきた君たちだから、どう飛ぶかじゃない。まずは飛び立たないといけない。君たちはそれをよく知っていて、そして楽しんでる。それでこそ君たちだ。さあ行け、大空高く舞い上がれ。この風すごい。どこまでも高く飛べそう。
Oh really? Did they have to bring the song from the first game over here? Fuck you, you goddamn. Our glider caught in the updrafts, climbed up and up. We were already far past Windmill Hill. We now could see all of... Holy shit! Mikazuki Kata Hill. We finally come back to the sky. Kotori stared out at the scenery with excited eyes. Hypermodern buildings stretched out through lush greenery, and the old town spread out around it. This was our home, Kasugaura. And there, just below, was the wide blue lake. We'd flown this route and seen the site so many times, but Kotori stared like it was her first.
あれ、ハンちゃんさんの工場じゃない？じゃあ、飛び要素があの辺りかな。
Should I take the stick?
大丈夫。
Kotori stopped gazing at the scenery and once more took firm control.
なんだろう。なんかいつもと違って見える。
Huh? It's probably just been a while.
どうだろう。そうじゃない気がする。
Kotori said in wonder and spread her hand against the canopy dome.
ずっと高く登ってきたのに空は果てしなくて雲はただずっと遠い
Tiny clouds scudded past far over our heads. I imagined the thermals we were riding led straight to them.
でもね
Kotori closed her hand as if to catch those clouds.
今日は何度か雲にも手が届きそうなのきっとみんなが翼に力をくれたからね
Is your heart pounding?
さっきからちょっとうるさいくらい
Let's go. We can go as high as we want. If we circled the core of the thermal updraft, the glider could climb higher and higher. We could head for those far-off clouds.
向こうの撤収完了しました。
しましたっす。お客さんの移動も終わりました。
一人の迷子もなく無事誘導できました。ありがとう、お疲れ様。とりあえず無事飛び立ってくれてよかったわ。ぶっつけ本番でヒヤヒヤしたけど。でもうまくいったっすよ。
俺マジで感動しました。京風に来てソアリング部入ってよかったです。
またあれが見られるなんて思ってませんでした。
ねえ、とても綺麗だったわね。観客の皆さんにも好評みたいだね。昨日急に言い出した時はどうしようかと思ったけど、やってよかったわ。
見たかシュン、あれがグライダーじゃ。
いやはや、もっと牧歌的な乗り物を想像してましたが驚きました。
そうじゃろうそうじゃろう。さらにな、モーニンググローリーというのがあってな。
もう何あれ、小鳥ちゃんたちかっこよすぎだよ。僕泣いちゃいそうだった。
ああ、まったくだ。見てるこっちまでうずいてくるよな。
僕も飛びたい。今すぐ飛びたいよ。なんで僕途中で夢を諦めちゃったんだろう。僕もあんな風に飛びたかった。
まだ時間はあるさ。今度こそ一緒に飛ぼうぜ、いつか。
小鳥ちゃんの勇姿バッチリ撮れたわ。どれどれ。おお、これはいいアングルですね。わっわっ。小鳥ちゃんは本当にすごい子だわ。あんなに可愛くて空まで飛んじゃうんだもの。本当に天使なんじゃないかしらねえ、かなこさん。そうかも。これは勝負ありましたね。何の勝負だ？プレゼンテーションですよ。対象となる人たちまで巻き込んでのあのパフォーマンス、文句のつけようもないです。現に先生方も風戸さんのおじいさんもあんなに楽しそうにしてらっしゃいます。おお、そういえばそんな話もあったな。忘れないでくださいよ。そのために私たち協力してたんですから。違うぞ。何が違うんですか？楽しそうだったからだ。楽しそうだから仲間に入れてもらったんだ。そういった気質こそ望月先生の素晴らしいところです。
ですが、やはり誰かがそばについてないといけませんね。頼りにしてるぞ、あかり。お任せあれ。
ちくしょう、あいつら最後までかっこいいな。
ほんとだね。あーちゃんたちだけちょっとずるいよね。
お前もスワーリング部入りゃいいじゃねえか。まだ1年あんだからさ。
それもいいかな。
お、どういう風の吹き回しだ。今まで誘われても入らなかったくせに。
だってもうあーちゃんもお兄も引退しちゃうし。
そうか、葵と一緒の部活が嫌だったんだな。わかるぞ、その気持ち。あいつといるとなんか自分がかすむっつうか。
そんなとこ。さてと、上の状況はどんな感じですかね。かなり高く上がってるみたいだけど。
ここからだと見えませんね。
もしかして雲の上にいるとか。いやー、さすがにそれは。でも今日のあの子たちならあるいは。
お嬢さん、ちょっとよろしいかな。
はい。うわー、理事長。はいはい、なんでしょう。
少しお願いがあるんじゃが。
もしもーし、こちら現場のアゲハちゃんです。聞こえますか？どうぞ。こちら小鳥ちゃん、聞こえるわよ。どうぞ。ではこれより現場から生の声をお届けしたいと思います。はい、1番の方どうぞ。
何十も見せてくれよったんじゃ。
An enormous voice leapt from the radio. Kotori's instinctive leap shook the glider. What was that?
この声、朝のおじいちゃん？
Regret clicking the link.
おかげで気持ちが青春時代にタイムスリップしてしまったぞ。もう追い先短い身じゃというのに、この熱くたぎる血をどうしてくれる。
The chairman was very excited.
いや、知らんし。
いいか、わしも飛ぶぞ。そしてモーニンググローリーを目指す。わしの人生最後の夢じゃ。
Yeah, buddy. This was all very sudden. Kotori and I both sat dumbfounded, unsure what to say. And then...
今度はイスカさん？僕、感動した。思わず泣いちゃったもん。あれが昨日急遽変更したってやつなんだよね。こんな隠し玉持ってたなんてずるい。絶対何があってもクラブを作って僕もそこへ行くからね。先輩、かっこよかったっす。小鳥ちゃん、素敵だったわ。ちゃんと一部始終カメラに収めたからね。
かっこよかったぞ、二人とも。
お前らばっかずりんだよ、うんちくさん。
わあわあ。
Who gave the mic to... One after the other, people got on the radio to congratulate us. As soon as one person finished, the next would start. Some we knew, and others we didn't. A crowd of people, all struggling to tell us how impressed they were.
以上、地上より感動の声をお届けしました。嬉しいけど、ちょっと疲れたわね。
Yeah.
というわけで、こっちは移動も完了したんだけど、そっちはどんな感じ？現在、高度900メートルってところ、湖を避けて迂回してる。そろそろ戻ってこられる？
すぐにそっちに向かうわ。
We were planning on doing some aerobatics over the runway next. It still was a good idea to do a little aerobatics, and we did have Agaha's equipment. Are you ready?
十分飛んだわ。それにみんなが待ってるし。
That really was something just now.
みんな興奮しすぎだよね。朝のおじいちゃんなんて青春回帰しちゃってるし。
I couldn't believe what he had said, but it was positive proof of the effect our flight had on people. I guess we made our point, then. We showed them why we look to the sky. Kotori answered and turned the glider. We headed toward the runway. She descended little by little to keep from gaining too much speed. Kotori's gaze went almost reluctantly beyond the canopy towards the sky. We'd climbed so high. The earth below looked misty. Just a little further, it seemed, and we could actually touch the clouds.
今日本当は飛ぶのがちょっと怖かった。
Kotori said suddenly. I thought back to that instant of fear I'd felt before takeoff. Are you still thinking about that stall? Kotori shook her head.
空が遠かったから。まるで高いところから下を見下ろすみたいに足がすくんでた。
But you don't look scared at all right now, Kotori. That being said, we were actually pretty high up right now.
気がついたの。空は遠くなったんじゃない。広がったんだって。
What do you mean?
私ね、空を遠く感じるようになったのは自分に夢がないからだって思ってた。夢っていう翼をなくしたせいで飛べなくなってしまったんだって。
I'd heard her talk about this before. She'd been afraid, like she'd lost her way.
けど今日ここへ来てみて気がついたの。空は
Hi,
広いんだ
nice
っ
to
て。
see you.
You know Masterpiece the Animation? I've heard of it. I never watched it, but I've heard of it. Kotori said this as if she had realized it for the first time.
引退。それ
How
から
you doing,
卒業。
Akai Sora, by the way?
私たちもうすぐ知らない場所へ行くでしょ。
Masterpiece the Animation is so nice. Say less, say less. Yeah,
そこはカゴの外だから。
I know I've heard the name before. I just can't think of it.
まだ私は大学で勉強を続けるけど、以前の私にはそれさえなかった。葵に預けてたあの退学届、あれを書いた頃の私は自分から小さなカゴの中に引きこもろうとしてた。そんな私の目の前に急に広がったのよ。たくさんの未来の可能性が。するとね、いつも見上げてる空が何倍にも高くなった気がして、足がすくんだの。
The sky had become a symbol of a future without the club, school, or our friends. And Kotori's heart had faltered at the sight. I'm sure her experience learning to walk again was part of it too. That had opened up the world for her too.
自分に自信がなかったのね。それを夢がないせいにしてた。でもその未来こそあの日私が取り戻したものだわ。 私飛びたい。
Finally, they did a flashback where they actually talk instead of I have to say it. Finally, at the end of the game, of the sequel.
モーニンググローリーは雲の回廊を渡りたい。そうしたら取り戻せる気がするの。未来が。そう、未来。私がなくした一番大きなもの。もしモーニンググローリーを飛べれば取り戻せる気がするの。
And she'd done it. Flown the morning glory and found her future.
そのことをね、思い出したの。気づかせてくれたたくさんの人たちが。だって私たちすっごいことを成し遂げたんでしょ。
Yeah, I guess we did. I had felt it too, of course. And now, everything we'd done had inspired others as well. Isuka's dream of starting her club. Old man Kazuto telling us his life's dream. The fuck? Saber, thank you for the raid, let's go. Wait, you were streaming? Good shit, I'm back again. Welcome back, Shin. How you doing? Haruka joining the club because she had seen us fly. That day, when we flew the morning glory, it had led us all here to now.
この1ヶ月
Only for like 5 minutes testing TTS.
おかげでいろん
Fair
な
enough.
ことに気づかせてもらえた。
And? How was it? I thought we'd gone off track and gotten lost. But it was all worth it.
ええ、
Of course it works. Ooh. It works perfectly. Otori nodded and looked back up.
カゴから飛び出すのは勇気がいるけど、今はこの広い空を羽ばたいていける気がするの。どこかに手が届きそ
Are
う
you
な
crashing the
予感が
glider
す
so
る。
we get the tragic love story yet? Nah.
まだ夢も見つけられない私だけど。
You've got lots of time. No need to rush. Just look at us as grandpa. He's still a boy at heart.
困った老人だわ。いつか見た映画みたい。
Yeah, I thought so too. We both laughed at that.
とりあえず一つ目標を決めたわ。
What's that?
インストラクターの資格を取る。それでね、風が浦で空を目指す子たちに羽ばたき方を教えてあげたい。
Oh, damn!
夢っていうにはちょっとスケールが小さいけど。
Not at all. Isuka's club needs staff, you know. Kotori blushed and looked down when I said that.
こんな私だけど、いつも迷ってばかりで、かと思ったら急に突っ走って。でも頑張って自分のペースで飛ぶから、一人でも大丈夫だから。だからその葵は先に行ってて、それで自分の夢を追いかけていって、私はそんな葵が大好きなの。
Kotori. The runway came into view while we talked. When we slowed down a bit and were inside of the crowd, we'd be starting our aerobics. Aerobatics. I felt like it was time. Listen, Kotori.
何？
Me getting a job, that's only partly about following my dream. I have another reason.
他の理由？
Kotori asked, totally mystified. I want to get on my own feet as soon as I can, so I can hurry and make a place for someone very important. Here, my proof. I said and pulled a small velvet box from my pocket. But can you see? I tried to pass it to her, but my seatbelt held me back.
ごめん、見えない。
I'm going to take off my belt for a minute. Can you take the yoke for a second?
お、おう。
I took off my seatbelt. I opened the box and held it in front of Kotori. My proof that even if we part, someday we will live together again. The box held a ring. I'd gone to Wendy's to buy it the other day. I'd already checked the ring size. The other day on our date, we'd gone to a little jewelry shop and she tried on rings. Kotori had been teasing me, but it had all been part of my plan. Are you getting married? Oh, we're getting married? You're gonna get so upset. My plan to propose during our final flight.
これ、指輪？
Yes, it is. Whoa! The glider took a huge dip. It's time for celebration, let's go. I held on to Kotori's seat for dear life. Kotori snapped out of her shock and righted the glider. I thought we were gonna die. I stood back and fastened my seatbelt. All the promises in the world wouldn't keep us from dying here.
もしかして、これ、プロポーズ？
When will you get a girlfriend? Ah yes, let me get back to you on that. Not supposed to be. It is. We'd have to wait, of course. It was a promise for the future. The ring was just a symbol of that promise. My girlfriend is a beautiful young lady. I have to catch her before I lose her. Of course I was worried about Kotori all alone at the university. But that wasn't much of a problem. Kotori had said it herself. She was happy for me to chase my dreams. And as for me, I was most happy when I was looking to the sky with Kotori. So, I had made my decision. I'd chase my dream. So we might not be together after graduation, but I swear we will be together again. He needs a girlfriend that's like Monica. I'll find a place for us. Kotori stared vacantly. She was just barely in control of the glider. Huh?
もう一回お願い。ぼんやりしてて細部を聞き逃したから。
I'd never heard of anyone having to repeat their proposal. But unfortunately, that was just the sort of girl I'd fallen in love with. I cleared my throat and said it again. Kotori, I love you. I want to be with you forever. I don't know when it will be, but I will make a place for us to live together. This ring is proof of that. Will you accept it? Or get yourself a weave that you can get them to cosplay as Monica while having sex. Perfect. I don't know how to tell you this, but it's not all about looks. The fuck? Kotori answered quietly, in an embarrassed voice. It looked like she was intentionally holding back her emotions. Yes. Yes! I pumped my fist a little.
おめでとうお二人さ
Huh? Ageha's voice came from the radio. Wait, what the heck?
ご婚約おめでとうございます葵先
Huh?
輩小鳥先輩
Did we leave the radio on? What?
ああなんか無線がオンになってたみたいよ
No way! I made sure it was off before I started talking. I had made dead sure because I hadn't wanted to make the same mistake twice. Kotori turned on the radio. Kotori was bent over trying to hold back her laughter. She fucking turned on. Hold on, I gotta hear that. Wait, I gotta hear that.
ごめん
Mwah. 10 out of 10. Kotori apologized, barely concealing her glee. No, you didn't. She turned the radio on herself? Is that why he made me?
だってみんなに自慢したかったんだもんああちなみに無線の声は口上にスピーカーで流してたんで
What?
ここにいる全員にちゃんと聞こえてたっすよ
Everyone? That meant the guests?
また新たな伝説が生まれましたね
I can't believe this.
ごめんね葵
Ugh. Whatever. It's fine. Guess that saves us a big announcement. It was embarrassing, but I suppose it was a good thing to have witnesses to an important promise like that. Crash the plane now.
今どんな気分
What, with that kind of laugh, you know Kotori's going for it.
最高の気分よ
Kotori answered Ageha's question and swung the controls.
そんじゃ行くわよアクロバット
Whoa, hey, oh, hey! Kotori flipped the smoke tracer switch. The glider spun and drew wide rings in the blue sky above the excited crowd. Favorite boys, another animated scene. Can't wait for the landing. I wouldn't be surprised if it called it here.
翼に変わる朝日に高くかざしてあの空の果てまで目印も標識もいつもないときめきに惹かれるこの目指して昨日の傷より
Guess I'll accept fuck off, cunt.
風に顔を上げて
Looks like a flying fish. And we've gone full circle, everyone. GG, Novi. By the way, if that actually is the end, that's the end of the stream. Oh no. I didn't get the achievement for the route ending, so there's still more. All clean. I nodded in satisfaction at the sparkling kitchen. The stove, sink, table, floors, they were all spotless. Someone else can take out the trash. Oh yeah, gotta check the notices. I took the notice clipboard from the entryway. I'd finished cleaning my room the day before. Since the halls and baths weren't my responsibility, I left them. Guess there's nothing left to do. Aw, Hat, don't do this to me, cunt. Hat came waddling out of Kotori's room and stopped by my feet looking up. Hi there, Hat. What's up? You already ate, didn't you? Hat gave me an oddly cold stare. Wait, did you come to say goodbye? You really are a clever duck. Well, since this is a girls' dorm, I won't be able to come and hang out much. But we'll meet again, Hat. See you around. So you look after everyone for me. Especially you know who. I'm sure you know, but she gets so lonely sometimes. A gentleman duck, I know. Hat answered, as if to say, I've got this. Later than Hat. I said this before, I'll say this again. Whoever changed his name from Hat to Hattie, I'll come for them. After I said goodbye to Hat, I closed the door to the empty dorm. It was my last day as house mother. I'd already moved out, so there was nothing more for me to do. Oh wait, one last thing. What if you do catch them? I locked the door. And with that, I gave them Old Manor a final look over. It really is falling apart. I thought back on all the emergency repairs I'd done in that typhoon. Yeah, right, thank you for the salute, let's go. That was a crazy day. We lost screens, windows, and even part of the roof. But looking at it now, all I saw was charm. I could say it now that it wasn't my job, but I wanted this place to last forever. I wanted new students to move in. Speaking of, Haruka would be moving in next term. She'd been commuting by train, but she'd come to like the dorm. And since the rent was cheap, her parents had agreed to let her move in. But why am I sitting here reminiscing? If I don't hurry, her lordship, the club leader, will kill me. This was our last day as members of the Soaring Club. I held the notices to my chest and left my old home behind. Our final flight had, of course, been a huge success. Everyone had helped us take off with the bungee launch. Naga's smoke tracers had earned high praise in our aerobatics. After we finished that flight and returned to the runway, we'd opened the canopy to roaring applause.
おめでとう2人とも。
Holy shit, she's got stars in her eyes.
すっごく素敵でした。
Both of them do.
おめでとうございますっせ。グレートだよ、お二人さん。大成功ね。
It feels like the applause is for something else though. Kotori waved her hand, a satisfied grin on her face as she climbed out of the cockpit. The applause intensified. It was clearly a reaction to my secretly broadcasted proposal.
葵くん、小鳥、おめでとう。ユーフー、ロマンチックだったわよ。わわ。
Kotori grew more and more smug as congratulations rolled in. I was glad to see her so happy. It was good she got to show off. Well, if not now, then when?
何が？
I sighed in resignation, took Kotori's arm and spun her to face me. Then, I took the velvet box from my pocket again. Kotori.
はい。
With a serious look, I raised Kotori's left hand to waist height.
何何？
The duck already dressed for occasion.
まさか。わあ。
Silence started to spread around us like a ripple on a pond. Kotori's cheeks flushed as she stared into my eyes. This is proof of our future together. Do you accept it? After she nodded, I slipped the ring onto her ring finger.
やったやりました見てらんないわね。おめでとう。やるなあ、葵くん。何かしら、このもやっとくる感情は。
Hi, nice to
お
see
めで
you.
とう二人とも。
Hello, Killswitch Cat. How you doing?
やっぱり水瀬先輩はすごいな。
いいなあ、部長。かっこいいぞ、葵くん。わあ。
くっそー、この上まだカッコつけるかあいつね。
おめでとう、葵。バッチリ撮ったからね、小鳥ちゃん。今日のデートは
I'm good.
永久保存版
Not
よ。
escorting or any bitches tonight, unlike some weaklings on the screen. Aw, like Killswitch Cat on the bottom left? Yeah, you're right, you're right. I see it. Everyone seemed even happier than we were. Despite a couple of hiccups, my big proposal plan was a huge success. You little shit. Kotori, blinking shyly, held her left hand with its glittering ring carefully to her chest. The But our final flight wasn't over yet. The bungee launch and the aerobatics big event was done, but that was just the beginning. It could be said that the real show was yet to come. Kotari and I would take turns at the controls as we took off with the winch and gave individual guests rides. We hoped everyone would get a better idea how a glider worked and see how fun it was. We took up Tatsuya, Hibari, other supporters, and even the teachers, Mr. Kazuto, and the mayor too. Since there were too many people for one day, Ageha promised them that we'd take them up on club days. When Tobioka went up, Isuka took the controls. Isuka just couldn't stand seeing us all fly all day, and had to go up herself. And apparently, Tobioka had found it hard to ask us directly. When Isuka asked him, he reluctantly climbed in the glider. Then it all came to an end.
今日は素晴らしい一日をありがとう。
Kazuto had said, calling the club members and Isuka over.
お遊びサークルなどと言ってすまんかった。
わかればいいんです。
Hey, come on! I elbowed Kotori. She just couldn't help herself.
ミサギのお嬢ちゃん。
はい。
ソアリングクラブを作り、そしてモーニンググローリーを目指すというあんたの野望、本物なんじゃな。
もちろんです。
よかろう。では、わしがあんたの後ろ盾になってやろう。
The biggest hurdle just got cleared.
ただし、2年じゃ。わしの孫たちが引退するまでに形にしてみせなさい。
2年。それだけあれば十分です。
聞いた通りじゃ、慶風学園の教師諸君。これで文句はあるまい。
And considering she had a 10-year plan of getting it up and running, to condense that into a 2-year plan, I think she's got this. She'll be right. None of the teachers had the guts to argue, so we could be sure of no more opposition. Teachers had all been happy with the flights anyway and approved of our club.
おじいちゃんかっこいいです。
なかなか見どころある若者たちのようじゃからの。
どうかなんとか言って、本当は自分が飛びたいだけなんじゃ。
ギク。
そういえば、さっきもモーニンググローリーを目指すとか言ってたよね。
何のことかの。わしも年じゃから突然錯乱してあることないこと口走ることが。
Oi, cunt, don't pull out that card now.
この前、イスカさんを呼び出した時も、どうせ本命は小鳥先輩たちだったんでしょ。
ギクギク。
どういうこと？モーニンググローリーを飛んだ時の話を直接聞きたかったんだと思います。
Well, why didn't you just ask?
うちのおじいちゃん、超負けず嫌いなんで、人に物を頼むとか大の苦手なんですよ。そのおかげで風時が繁栄してるわけですが。
夜、お前はその人の心理をあけすけに読むのをやめなさい。悪い癖じゃ。
Allow me to translate that. Yoda, you little shit, shut the fuck up.
おじいちゃんの負けず嫌いで天の弱なところもね。まあおじいちゃんも素直になりましょう。みんな空を愛する仲間です。
コホン、そういう
It works both ways.
はい、なんでしょう。
Hi, nice to see you.
Hello, Amy. I'm doing good. How are you? Looking forward to the new Fortnite season? Chapter? Update? Oh, what's it called?
うまくいったらわしも会員にしてもらってええかの。
Dun, 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 dun.
はい、
もちろん喜んで。今日のフライトを
Fuck did you fall
惜
like
しがい
these?
もなく血が
Whoa,
騒
whoa,
いで
whoa,
し
whoa, whoa, wait, why do you say that, Kurt?
もう一度空を飛びたくなった。
Wait, is it out now? Old man Kazuto said as he looked at Kotori and I. His eyes were kind and he smiled softly. But his scowl returned in the blink of an eye.
まだまだ負けんぞ若造ども。
Huh?
何この大人げないじいさんは。
Apparently, he decided we were rivals to be beaten. Then, the mayor came over.
いやー、いいも
Nah,
のを
nothing
見
wrong
せ
with
て
it,
も
just
らった
another
よ
season.
君たち。
Oh, but it is out, yeah? The way you're talking is that you played it already. We're glad to hear that. But why had he come exactly?
おかげでアイデアが湧いてきた。
What now?
市長はな、以前から風ヶ浦を風の町として PR しておる。
We knew that much. That was why they'd been endorsing the town as a place to research wind turbines and other renewable energy sources. That was also part of why Amane had been able to experiment with her new turbines here.
そこで
Not yet. We probably won't play until Tuesday. Ah, you wanna let all the sweats get their shits out first. Ah, a festival.
ここなら他の風車が一望できるし。
風に乗って飛ぶグライダーは絶好のパフォーマンスになるじゃろうな。
ええ、今日見せてもらってそれを確信しましたよ。
Ah, game's still down. Website's up, but everything else is down. Or under maintenance.
そのためにもぜひともミサギさんのクラブを我が市に誘致せねばなりませんね。
なるほど。そのための視察だったってわけね。
頑張らないと。
Sounds like EFCO. It appeared the adults had been making plans of their own.
あとはイスカさんに任せましょう。
Right. We were only pilots. Our job was just to fly the blue sky. It's crazy. I can't believe. I'm glad I bought this game. Sorry I'm late. I could have waited for a sale, which would have dropped the game to like $6, but I paid the full price, and it was fucking worth it. When I got to the hangar, everyone was working as usual.
遅い。寮の鍵閉めるだけでどれだけかかってるのよ。
sorry. It took a while to clean the kitchen.
それ、一昨日もしたじゃん。
Kotori was exasperated. There was still plenty to take care of.
これで全員揃ったわね。そろそろ始めましょうか。
Ageha went to get everyone, and we gathered in one corner of the hangar. It was the last day for us seniors. We're going to offer the younger students a few final words.
誰から行く？じゃあ、遅刻してきた葵から。
You motherfuckers. Wait, isn't that backwards? Ageha, please. You go first.
了解。
Ageha raised her hand and took a step forward. Younger students all sat on the floor waiting to hear what we had to say. Oh man. Well, I'm gonna keep some sleep, man. Take care and enjoy the rest of your games. Sleep well, Ami, sleep well. Take this knowledge with you before you go. Our boy Aoi proposed to Kotori. Sleep well.
ま 特別言うことはないんだけどね。
That's the biggest thing that should be taken away from the stream.
こら、いきなり趣旨をぶち壊さないで。私は昔ロボット部にいたのね。で、ここにいる葵と、それから小鳥と出会ってソアリング部に入ったの。もともと何か作るのが好きで、まあやりがいがあれば何でもよかったんだよね。つまりはソアリング部にやりがいを感じたわけ。
That's the most absolute awful news I've ever heard. Suffer.
飛びたいって思ってる子がいて、頑張って飛ばせてあげる。離陸していくグライダーを下から見上げるのもなかなかおつなもんだったわ。
I'm a dream about rolling Kotsuri down a hill.
だからまあ操縦するだけがグライ
And
ダ
then
ーじ
she
ゃないって
crashes
こと
right
で。
into Ami. Easy dub. Crown victory for Kotsuri.
整備もしっかりね。
Ageha finished up her somewhat typical speech and stepped back. I figured it was my turn, so I started to step forward, but Kotori beat me. GG's in the game chat. Wait, you should be lost. You're the club leader, right?
いや、だって引退フライトとかでいっぱい挨拶とかやったから。
I've done enough.
ぶっちゃけもう言うことないし。
Son of a. So why'd you just pick on Ageha like that?
後輩諸君、こんな無茶苦茶な先輩たちに最後までついてきてくれてありがとう。あんまりそういうところは真似しないように、安全安心な空の小旅行をお楽しみください。
That was her last speech?
イスカさんがクラブを作ったら、私はインストラクターとして戻ってくるつもりだけど、その頃には朝たちはいなくなってそうね。そんな。もしキリノさんがその時までにパイロット資格を取れてなかったら、私が教えてあげるわ。それまで取らずにいるっす。いや、そこは取れるようなら取ってこうね。
Yeah, the seniors kinda need their license to fly, you know?
以上よ。それで終わりですか。伝えるべきことは日々の部活動の中で伝えてきたはずだもの。
Kotori said, a bit too proudly. Ageha and Kotori's speeches were both a bit too cut and dry for my tastes. Of course, they'd both done their share of crying already. For example, when we'd finished up the final flight. Aww. Don't do this to me, man. We'd had quite the party, what with our big flight success, Isuka's plan making progress, and my proposal to Kotori. But suddenly, Kotori broke down crying.
やっぱり引退したくないよ。もっとずっとここにいたい。そんなの私だってそうだよ。私も引退してほしくないです。私もわせてくださいっす。
The weeping girls all embraced, overcome with emotion. Only Yoru looked on coldly.
まったく引退するって言ったって、どうせまたすぐひょっこり顔出すつもりでしょ。やめてくださいね、そういうの。ありがたみなくなっちゃいますから。
Yoru, don't cry.
もうあんたは最後まで生意気なんだから、こっちで
That's all,
一緒
Yoru,
に
don't
考え
cry.
なさい。私そういうキャラじゃ。
Yoda is crying. That is right. Oh no!
もうバカみたい。楽しかった。本当に楽しかった。最高だった。最高のチームだったよ。
Where's the duck? Probably at home. They wouldn't take the duck into the hangar. And so on. Harumi and I didn't join in, but just sat there looking on, trying not to cry.
それじゃ、葵、鳥なんだから、ビシッと決めてね。
Right. But I didn't really have anything to say. So, back in the day, Amane kept this club going alone. And she kind of forced me into being part of it. Then, well, it wasn't always smooth. At one point, we were shut down, and that wasn't even the end of our troubles. But we wanted to fly, so we never gave up and saved our club. Kotari and Ageha nodded along. But now, it's all yours. You decide what to do. You decide how you'll fly. You'll have to figure it out for yourselves. So, in the end, have fun. And do it your way. And like Kotori said, try not to be as messed up as us. That's all I've got. I'd imagine they'd been expecting something a bit more inspirational. They all seemed a little let down. But honestly, words couldn't convey the most important things we had to share. Like Kotori had said, we'd already taught what we could day after day.
では次は新部長から挨拶。
Sir. Sir.
私ですか？当たり前じゃないの。何も用意してないの？不活だった。
Asa stood up and stepped forward anyway. She looked unsteady but took a deep breath. She looked serious.
私が先輩たちに出会った頃、スワリング部はなくなってて、同好会になってました。でも私、空が飛びたくて、それで皆さんの仲間に入れてもらいました。私、夜ちゃんと違って何にもできなくて、お荷物なんじゃないかって悩んだこともあったけど、でも先輩たちといるとそれだけで楽しくて、結局今日までなんとか頑張ってこられました。部長にまで指名されちゃったもんね。
I need to go. I don't need to be more emotional today. If you go, Gabite, you'll regret it. You've made it this far, Gabite. You've nearly put at least 20 hours in the last game, and you've at least done 5 hours in this game. Are you really gonna leave at the end? Asa turned bright red.
私なんかじゃ先輩たちには全然届かないと思うけど、でももっと飛びたいです。もっと飛びたい。もっとずっとこの空に恋してたいです。
Hi, nice to
小鳥
see
先輩
you.
のよ
Hi, Sci-Fi. How you doing?
うに。朝あんたって子は
She's fallen for the sky.
もしかしてそれが素で言えちゃうことがソアリング部の部長になる
I'll
資格だったりして。
I highly doubt there's any much longer, to be honest. We got the resolution we wanted. This cold's kicking my ass, so meh. I'm good, Sapphire. Besides your cold, how's your day?
引退して卒業しちゃっても
Confession and proposal right in the sky?
私の憧れですから。ソアリング部魂を受け継いで部長として頑張っていきます。
Asa, overcome with emotion, snapped a teary-eyed salute. Spoke up, but it's been chill. Been a lot cooler lately, which has been nice. Getting to the spooky season weather. Hey, let's go. I wasn't really sure what she'd meant, but the sentiment was clear.
じゃあ次夜ね。
Yoru isn't even part of the club, is she?
なんで私が。いいからいいから。
Yoru reluctantly stood as ordered and replaced Asa, who was now weeping openly. She must be part of the club.
親愛なる先輩の皆様、あなたたちの不合理さにはいつも呆れてました。なんだと？この子は。
Settle down. She's got a point, you know.
けど、一人じゃ気づけないような何かも学べたような気がします。きっとそれはこれからの
It's
私にと
almost
って
spooky
不
season.
可欠なものとなっていくでしょう。
October.
大変不本意ではありませ
Spooky,
ん。
scary skeletons.
とても感謝しています。ありがとうございました、先輩。
Yoru smiled and looked at Haruka and Harumi. They brought out bouquets of flowers out of hiding.
先輩、これからも頑張ってくださいっす。
もっと勉強させてもらいたかったです。
Hot tears filled my eyes as I accepted my flowers. Keep at it, you two.
元気でね。頑張んなさい。
頑張ります。
I wondered where the wind would take them. Just imagining it made my heart leap.
水瀬先輩、
Harumi whispered to me. What's up?
先輩のプロポーズ感動しました。
Thanks.
俺もやってみます。
Huh? Harumi stared at Haruka as he whispered. I grabbed his shoulders and whispered back. One piece of advice: that stuff about girls loving guys who can cook is spot on.
マジっすか。やってみます。
He answered so sincerely I had to ruffle his hair. Yeah, I hope it works out.
はい。
またじゃれ合ってる。あれって浮気にならないのかしら。
You're already married, cunt! Giving us boys the side eye, Kotori took a notebook from her bag.
このノートを預けていくわ。これイスカさんのフライトログよ。私の原点であり、ある意味今のソアリング部の原点でもあるわ。こんな大事なもの置いてっちゃうんですか？だってこれ私のじゃないもの。私は預かっただけ。でも私だって受け取れません。困ったわね。小鳥先輩、持っててください。それで次、イスカさんのクラブに帰ってくるとき持ってきてください。 そうわかったわ。そうする。
Asa smiled, looking relieved. She likely felt it was a promise. Kotori had to come back now.
さーてと、それじゃ帰りますか。
Kotori said calmly and left the hangar without a hint of reluctance. When we got outside, Ageha started the engine on a scooter that was parked off to the side. Oh, you bought one?
あまね先輩の真似してね。通勤にも便利だろうから。
A few days earlier, Ageha and Hotaru had gone to get their scooter licenses. She's got a scooter now? Yeah. Leaving the club left her a lot of time, so she was planning on getting her real driver's license next.
原付なら私も運転できるかな。
Kotori stared at Ageha's scooter with deep interest. It was probably too dangerous for Kotori with her legs as they were. Ageha put on her helmet and climbed on.
それじゃあ帰るね。
You're not going back with us?
どうせまたすぐ顔合わせるでしょ。
She was right, of course. We were from the same neighborhood after all.
それじゃあ小鳥。
The friends exchanged looks. Once upon a time, Ageha had called me her best friend. I was pretty sure that spot now belonged to Kotori. It was a bittersweet feeling.
さよならは言わないよ。私たちはこの空でつながってる。またどこかで。おう、またどこかで。
Ageha smiled and opened up the throttle. She rolled off down that gentle hill, the purr of the engine trailing behind. She cut a dashing figure somehow. Let's walk on home then. Kotori and I walked down the hill hand in hand. The sun was strong, but the breeze was cool and fresh. It felt lovely. Kotori had passed her entrance exams. From spring, she'd be moving in with Hibari and commuting to university from there. And I had been hired by the bicycle parts company. From spring, I'd be living on my own in Tokyo. We were both starting down new paths. Before long, we'd no longer be able to walk hand in hand like this. With old man Kazuto's backing, Isuka's club was getting a solid start. Seeing our flight had lit a fire in Isuka, and she was racing to get back in the sky. Amane had gone back to America. She was already busy and sure to get busier. No doubt we'd have more chances to see her on TV, in the newspapers and on the net than face to face. But I had a suspicion she'd come sneaking back again with an empty belly before long. When it happened, I hoped we'd all be able to get together and have some fun. Of course, everyone wanted Professor Big Chest Airhead would be back. As we walked over the rolling hills, Kotori stopped at the top of one.
ここだったよね。確か。
Kotori had stopped in the spot where we first met.
葵があっちから歩いてきて。
And I saw this unbelievably beautiful girl crying here. We looked at each other and giggled. You tricked me, you know. I was convinced you were some quiet, melancholy beauty.
あら、大して間違ってないじゃない。今
Oh, if he doesn't say the fucking thing, I swear to fuck, this cunt doesn't say it. Someone with a cool allure?
何それ。
Don't you remember? Oh, they fucked the translation. Don't you remember? That's how you introduced yourself when we met again at the Flying Fish Manor. Or maybe not.
私これでもクールビューティーで通ってるの。
Oh, they did. Yeah, they did.
忘れろって言ったのに。
Yeah, they did. They fucked it. No. Ah, whatever. Kotori's face was bright red. She definitely remembered. That was amazing. I think that's what made me fall for you.
そうなの？
Yeah, I think so. If we hadn't met like that, I'd probably have gone on thinking she was just a pretty girl. But standing there, full of confidence, describing her own full allure, had left quite an impression on me.
あなたやっぱり変わってるわね。でもよかった。葵が変わってて、おかげで好きになってもらえた。
Kotori looked content as she snuggled up against me, and we both looked up at the sky. This is where we first saw the glider too. The white aircraft had come across the lake and passed slowly over our heads. Later, we'd found out it was Amane on a test flight. If we hadn't been right here, right then, we might never have joined the soaring club. And we wouldn't be standing right here, right now, together. Chance? Fate? It's all so strange. It feels so long ago.
感じるんじゃなくて、昔なのよ。
She was right. 3 years was a long time.
過去には戻ることはできないけど、未来なら大きく開けてる。
The sky over the hill stretched on forever. Just like our future. Kotori? She was trembling slightly.
こうして空を見上げてるとね、まだちょっと足がすくむの。でもそれはきっと可能性が広すぎるから、自分が何者なのか、今どこにいるのか、すぐに見失いそうになる。
Yeah. At times, we might lose sight of our goals, or reach what was thought was the end and just find out it was just one stop along the way to something bigger. But your sky is just as big as the wings you make. The bigger someone's wings were, the bigger the sky they would need. On that one morning, Kotori hadn't crawled back into her cage. She looked to the sky and flown the cloud corridor.
私はまだ飛び方を覚えたばかりの小さな鳥だから、空はまだまだ高いけど。
We were setting out into new skies without any maps. It was scary. Our feet wanted to freeze in place.
胸はうるさいくらい高鳴ってる。
Kotori opened Isuka's notebook and tore out a single blank page. She folded it into a paper airplane.
届け、私の未来へ。
The paper airplane left Kotori's hand and caught the wind from the lake. It climbed higher and higher. Shall we go? The skies were waiting. Gee. 10 out of 10. Let's fucking go. Inherited Wings Soaring Club Epilogue. 10 out of 10. Before I end, I'm gonna add this game to the game list finish. And then we'll call it there. 8 out of 10. No sex. No tragic love story. Fuck out of here. I'll show you a tragic love story, cunt. Sex is optional. If my heart had wings plus flight diary. Nah, fuck it. It gets its own. Gets its own bullet point. If my heart had wings, flight diary. And what would the ending? Need some wholesome because of the internet. Oh, Katawa, but it's okay. Good, good. Okay, I'm not too sure if tomorrow's gonna be Blue Archive or Grand Theft Auto, because I do want to continue the Blue Archive story. But who knows what next fucking blockade they'll do story-wise. Blue Archive. We'll see, we'll see. I'm already level 46. I got the girls up to level 46. But I might have to push further up. Alright, that is another game added to the list. Fuck. I remember when this list was only up to Ib. Paranoia. This list has fucking grown. I can't believe that. God damn. That's right, Gabba. There's only more leveling to go. I think most of my levels came from the Valentine event. I farmed the fuck out of that event. Alright. Good night, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Which will probably be GTA. I might do another week of grinding on Blue Archive and then we'll get in there. Same to you, Shin. Bye, Gabite.